Hey everybody. So I got a question here from a user regarding the monitor setup. Video I'm going to have here today basically goes through kind of the resolution settings that I have on my monitor in order to make this work. And then I'm going to go into MAME as well and just show how I've made it fit within that resolution. So figured I'd start with my bezels completely removed. You can see here, so TCL TV, just a generic TV from Best Buy. It's 42 inch. Don't have to get it at Best Buy, don't have to have a TCL, but for the purposes of this video, this is what I'm working with. It is a 4K TV, you know, I'm not, none of the images that I have on here are in 4K, and you'll see that in my resolution settings, but I'm also going to do my best to give you a good camera angle, but you know, we'll see how this all goes. So I don't have all the equipment that you guys are probably used to seeing with some of the YouTubers and whatnot, so we'll work with what we got. So I'm just going to go ahead and boot this up, just so you can kind of see the sequence here. So TV turns on, you can see that the TV it actually extends all the way down, and then it actually does go behind the speaker panel that I created there, but you can see right now it is sideways. So I go ahead and I use my coin door as my power button, and then it goes in and boots up. And this computer I bought off of eBay. It was actually one that was recommended by Chris from Killer Arcade Games. He does a lot of videos on Killer Instinct and a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff. Definitely a fan of MK4. Just built a shedcade. He's got a few arcades, you know, units in his. He built a shedcade, so he's got a few units in there. He's got like Hydro Thunder and Rush 2049, and of course Killer Instinct. And so check out his channel if you'd like. But otherwise, PC boots up. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's a little faster. Like I hadn't booted this thing up for probably a month before doing this video, and man, it sat there and spun for a while. So I don't know what the deal was with that, but a lot of disk usage. I don't know if it was doing an index or something, or what, because it had been off for so long. But anyways, so I just have this booting straight from Windows boot right into gosh, I can't even think of the front end that I have right now. It's been so long since I've actually done any of this stuff. Launch box. So it's going to boot right into Big Box Explorer. Windows Explorer doesn't boot at all. So hopefully it boots up here and it isn't all choppy like it was earlier with all that disk usage. I think it might be, because it's taken a little while to boot up here. All right, so comes up, does its thing, and I'm just going to set this down on the control panel so that you can see the screen. So you can see my mouse on the screen here. So first thing I've got to do is I've got to start Explorer. So I do a Control-Alt-Escape, and I go to File. Once it actually allows me to, come on up, Run New Task, and then Explorer is going to already be in there, because that's pretty much all I ever really run from here. I mean, you can run anything if you're familiar with how to run Windows. You know, it's not real tricky stuff by any means. But you could see now my bar went away, so I do an Alt-Tab, and that brings up the ability to switch between these two. Sometimes I've got to run Explorer a couple times, just it's running, but for that taskbar to show up on the bottom, sometimes it just doesn't want to. So in worst case scenario is I just come here and I actually shut down Big Box. So I can just come down here and crap, where is it? So I just exit Dropbox. So what I'm going to show you here first is just my resolution settings, and actually before I do that, I am going to close a couple of these little things down here. Come on now. So first things first is I do have an Intel graphics chip. Some of you might be running NVIDIA, some of you might be running AMD, so right off the bat, this might be different for you. I don't have any control over that. I do apologize, but you know, you might be able to find something from this video still that works from you, but either way, you know, the options might be different here. So I'm just going to right click down on the tray here onto the control panel, and I'm just going to go to the I'm going to actually go into the control panel, graphics properties, I guess. And so first thing is the display. And right now this is the actual model, the 43S435. The resolution that I am running is a 4K resolution. I have the resolution turned 90 degrees. And you can see by this picture here where it's cut off on the top and on the bottom. You can see that picture there. The funny thing is even though my resolution is 2160 by 4096, it actually isn't. And I don't want to mess with this because it's a pain in the butt to change it back. But essentially what I end up doing, I took screenshots of this because every once in a while this will reset on me. Let's see here, where's the other one? Well, what I have to do is I have to go into the Intel settings and create this resolution here, this 1440 by 1080. But what Intel wants me to do, the way that it's listed is I have to actually do it 1080 by 1440. It's because of the height and width, right? I'm going to have, I believe it's more width than I am height, being that it's 4:3, or trying to create a 4:3 aspect ratio. So I'll pop in here again. But what I'm doing is in the Intel graphics control panel is I'm creating a custom resolution. And what that allows me to do, so right here, custom resolution, what that allows me to do, you can see this one right here. So you see how it's backwards, 1080 by 1440p by 60 hertz. What that does is it then in Windows allows me to actually set that display resolution. Without creating that custom resolution, in Windows, when you go in here and go to your display settings to actually set the resolution, you're never going to see this option. It just doesn't exist. So you have to actually create it in your chipset profile. So again, whether that's NVIDIA, whether that's AMD, whether that's Intel, whatever the GUI is for those cards, there's got to be somewhere in here where we come in and we create a custom resolution. And on my system in particular, it's 1080 by 1440. Yours might be different. Yours might be 1440 by 1080. You know, and you might have to play around with this number too.